So back in the day, about probably a year and a half, yeah, it's been a year and a half that I made a video about showcasing how the synth fiber mods work with the what is it called? Equilibrium mods, and how I kind of showcased it with was the Death Cube, because Death Cube had this augment coming out where you can actually, if Death Cube assists in 10 kills, which is like really easy to do if you have like a sweeper prime modded for as much fire rate and reload speed and whatever. It's pretty easy to get the energy generator going, and then also synth fibers they deconstruct. And if you run equilibrium on your Warframe, it is pretty easy to get energy from these health orbs. As you can see right here, I got a bunch of energy, and there you go, I'm full of energy. I don't even have to use these energy orbs, or I mean, you do use these energy orbs, but this helps a little bit. So this is what I basically kind of showcased it with. I was like, yeah, this thing is pretty cool. I like Death Cube, how it uses it. But I moved on to the Jinn just because the Death Cube was dying a lot, and you could only get a Sentinel back 3 times with Prime Region, and after that it's just gone. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna work out. So I started running Jinn, which Jinn gives me Reawaken, which basically is it basically revives itself after 90 seconds. So how that works is it dies 3 times and it will come back immediately, and then the after 3 times it will just come back every 90 seconds. But now the problem I ran with this though is the fact that my Jinn kept dying a lot too. So even though I was getting the Jinn back in like 90 seconds or whatever, but it would die in 5 seconds, then I would have to wait 90 more seconds, and it didn't really make sense to me to run the synth fiber equilibrium mod setup anyway, because I was like, if my fucking Sentinel is gonna die anyway, what's the point of me actually running this? But then MOAs got launched, so I was really interested in checking those out, so I kind of built one up. And I was kind of surprised that it didn't actually let me, back in the day, it didn't actually let you use synth mods, by the way, on, I think, MOAs. I'm pretty sure they didn't allow you to use that. But I think, I would say, one of the updates, they fixed it, so now you can actually put these synth mods. They went from Sentinel to robotic, which basically means anything that's a robot, you could use these synth mods. Now, of course, they're a companion, which means that you can actually even put these on your Kavat, which, to me doesn't really make sense, because a Kavat or a Kubro is only going to attack 1 people. I just want to be able to attack a bunch of people with my thing, so I was gonna try to do it over here. There was a new MOA coming out, so I kind of wanted to see what the new one has to offer. And then I also got the new brackets, all the new gyro, I think that's what it's called. So I built this MOA up. Now first off, I'm going to show what the parts are. So there you go, we have the Lehan core, the Tylee gyro, the Nychus Moa, I think that's what it's called, and the TN bracket. And the TN bracket gives you a depolarity, so it's easier for you to kind of build this thing up. I only put like 2 Forma, which is basically a V and a dash for Prime Pack Leader and Animal Instinct. Now I'm using Blast Shield, Stasis Fields, the Synth mods, Link Health and Armor, because that's just going to be, that's just better no matter what Warframe you're using. I'm only going to be using this with energy Warframes, or as I like to call them. I only use it with basically every other Warframe other than Inaros, basically. So I wanted something that was robust, that can take a little bit of damage, and this is basically it. Now it basically works as good as my Sentinel does, so it is not a big problem. I am using Sweeper Prime. You can use other weapons, honestly, it doesn't really matter. To me, I just wanted something that I could just, use and it won't die. Now, this thing doesn't die that quickly, I would say. especially for just like going out, going after enemies. This is pretty good. It also has this blast shield. I'm using the blast shield for a reason. I will actually tell you that in a moment. Let me just kill this guy real quick. So as you can see, if any of these guys drop a health orb, as you can see, I didn't really run out of energy, and we are just killing these guys. I think, yeah, one of the guys probably dropped the health orb, and I did get some of the energy back. So that's basically what it is. Now, the reason I'm using the blast shield is, first off, this Moa actually has, it's more like a melee Moa, which, by the way, it's not that great because, you know, I'm not using it with the Nekros, so I was like, okay, I don't want to do the hard engage stuff. So hard engage is basically a mod that gives you, that this thing can do melee damage, so I don't want that. I'm using blast shield though, even though like this kind of makes my Moa a little bit vulnerable against like enemies. Like the enemies could possibly kill it pretty quickly, but I'm like, you know what? It gives them. You can get overshields. The thing can get like 3,000 more overshields, which is like basically 2,000 more health to me, or 2,000 more effective health at least. So I'm good with that. And the stasis shield, which basically gives I think your Moa basically like a 60% damage reduction, which is pretty good. And the Moa uses it quite frequently, so you don't have to really worry about it dying that much. I've used it with a bunch of frames, a bunch of other types of frames, and I've seen the same thing. And also, like, if you wanna use, like, I could just let's just showcase it, but let's just use Oberon real quick. All right, now I got the right build, so let's just showcase it again. Just go right here. And let's get these guys really quickly. There we go. As you can see, I'm getting the health stuff pretty easily. Not that shabby. I can kind of even spam my abilities because I have the things. And my Moa, not taking a lot of damage, but if it does, I could just basically switch to melee and use that. There you go. There you go. So as you can see, the survivability is a little bit better, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It is a Moa. It is somewhat like a Sentinel thing. It's not gonna be like the best. It's not gonna be having the best survivability. But at least now I have a way to kind of get it back, which is basically it will go down and I can revive it. So I don't have to just keep on waiting at 90 seconds to, actually get the whole synth fiber mod thing going. So yeah, that's the little Moa build that I've actually been wanting to put on a Moa for a while. I would just wait in around. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it eventually, because I would just like, yeah, I like the Jinn a lot, and I want to keep using it because it's like pretty good for using the synth fiber mods. But I wanted something else, and I finally got it. I finally managed to just put together a build, and yeah, that's the Nychus Moa, I think. Yeah, that's the Nychus Moa build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.